everyone, I'm Isabella and I'm here with TigFit to bring you a quick 30-minute yoga session. Anna Maria here is going to help me out, so she'll be doing some modified moves for you guys to check out if you guys can't do the full practice. Just remember that's totally okay. Yoga is not about perfection and getting all the moves right. It's about being in the moment and feeling the practice, right? So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start in Shavasana. So we're going to extend all the way back, feet stretch to the top of the mat. You're going to bring your palms down to the mat. You can do palms face up to give and receive some energy. And we're just going to relax the body here, closing the eyes and taking a few breaths. What you want to remember is throughout our yoga practice, you're going to focus on breathing in through the nose and out through the nose so that you retain some heat within the body. So we're going to do this for 3 counts of an inhale and exhale. One more count. You can go ahead and open your eyes. We're going to bend the knees one at a time, bringing the palms of the feet to the mat. And we're going to start with our first pose called thread the needle. So we're going to take our right ankle and place it on our left knee. You're going to take your fingers and interlace behind your left thigh bone, pulling the thigh into the chest. Remember to flex both feet here so that you're engaging the muscle and really making this pose work for you. You should be feeling a big stretch right at the back of the right leg. If you'd like, you can rock side to side, and your stretch might be intensified. On your exhale, bring the palms of the feet down to the mat. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, left ankle to right knee. Pull the thigh into the chest, interlacing your fingers behind the right thigh. And remember to flex both feet. And maybe rock side to side. On an exhale, we'll bring the palms of the feet down to the mat. We're going to hug the knees into the chest, and we're going to rock maybe once or twice forward and backward, coming into a seated position. All right, we can face forward here. So what we're going to do now is some upper body stretches. So you're going to take a deep breath in through the nose, feeling it in your chest, relax the shoulders away from the ears, and you're going to inhale, reaching the arms up to the sky. On the exhale, you'll bring your left fingertips down to the floor. You're going to reach up higher with the right and arch over towards the left. If you can bring your elbow down to the ground, that's great. What you want to remember is not to lift the right hip off the ground, okay? If that's not possible, you're going to come back up to the left palm. What you want to remember here is to look up from under the right arm. You're going to feel a big stretch in the intercostals on the right side. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. On your inhale, come back up to center, bringing the right fingertips down to the ground. Reach up high with the left hand, and you're going to arch over towards the right. This time feeling a big stretch in the left intercostals, the muscles between the ribs. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, come back up to center, bringing both palms down to the ground. We're going to do a shoulder warm-up. So we're going to take some circles with the shoulders. You're going to go towards the front of the room first. So we'll drop down and come up. So bring them forward. Couple more rounds. And we'll go backwards. All right, and we'll relax, coming into a neutral position. Remember to keep those shoulders down away from the ears. What we're gonna do now is go ahead and bring the arms out in front of us. You're gonna cross right over left, okay? And then bend at the elbows. And if this is good enough for you, so backs of hands touching, that's great. If you wanna go a little bit further, you can take palm to palm, great. Take the fingertips out towards me and reach up to the sky. This is a huge shoulder stretch, which you're gonna feel on the right side. Anna Marie is gonna hold this position. If this is too much for you, if you can just get here, what you're gonna do is an exercise that's going to release the tension in your right shoulder, but you don't have as much range of motion. So what you're gonna do is just cross over with the right arm, okay? Pulling it back with the left. And we'll relax. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So take the arms out in front of us once again, cross left over right, bend at the elbows, backs of hands are palm to palm. Take the fingertips out towards me and reach up to the sky. This time we're feeling a big stretch in the left shoulder. And again, if this is too much, you can unbind and try to cross over with the left arm, holding it in place with the right. You're gonna get the same stretch. And we'll relax, coming into a neutral position. From here, we're gonna move to hands and knees. What you wanna focus on is bringing the palms down to the floor, shoulder width apart. Okay, and what we're gonna do is take a wide stance with the knees, so a little bit more than hip width apart. Untuck the toes, bring them together in back of you. We're going to sink the hips back towards the heels and stretch the hands out in front of us, coming into child's pose with your head down to the floor. Take a few moments to center yourself here, keeping in mind that we're inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Two more breaths. On the inhale, we're going to come back up to hands and knees. You can walk the hands back a few inches. You're going to tuck the toes in under you, lift the knees off the ground, send the hips up and back, coming into down dog. So this might feel a little intense right now. What we're going to do is walk the dog, bending one knee, straightening the other. You do want to make sure that you're sending those hips to the sky. Couple more walks. And we'll come into a neutral position and walk the feet up to the hands. Slowly, one vertebrae at a time, we're going to come into a standing position. And take a good breather. All right, so we're going to start with a sun salutation here. If you have any low back pain, you want to take a shoulder distance stance with the feet. If you're all good, you can step the feet together. I'm going to go ahead and stand shoulder width apart. So we're going to take an inhale, circle the hands up to the sky. On the exhale, we're going to fold forward. Reach anywhere that you can, shins, ankles, toes. On the next inhale, we're going to come up flat back, taking the hands to the shins. Exhale, come back down to the mat. On the inhale, circle the hands up to the sky. Exhale, palms heart center. One more time. Inhale, circle the hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, come up flat back. Exhale, fold forward, bending the knees as much as you can, as much as you have to get the palms down on the floor. Once you're there, you're going to take a step back with the right foot and then the left. And we're going to do a modified chaturanga here. So we're going to set the knees down. And what we're going to do is keep in mind a few important things with our chaturanga. You want to keep the elbows bent into the rib cage, so close to the body. And we're going to bring the chest down to the floor, okay? So look down at the floor in front of you. That's the space you want to focus on. Bringing the shoulders down, bending the elbows into the rib cage, hold, and then come down flat to the mat. Okay, take a breather here. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. On the inhale, we're going to pinch our shoulder blades together, and we're going to lift our chest up off the ground, coming into cobra. If you'd like, you can lift the hands, maybe lift the toes. Exhale, relax down to the mat. We're going to tuck the toes in under us, lift the hips up and back, coming into down dog one more time. Here you can walk the dog again. And we'll relax, coming into a neutral position, pushing the heels down to the floor. We're going to take a couple steps to the top of the mat. And slowly, one vertebrae at a time, come to a standing position. All right. So from here, we're going to take a wide stance lengthwise on the mat. So how you want to measure this out, if you're contemplating what a wide stance is, you're going to take your arms out to your sides, and you're going to make sure that your ankles lie right below where your wrists are. Okay? Your toes should point straight ahead of you, not splayed out to the sides. Okay, we're going to take our hands to our hips, and we're going to fold forward here, hinging from the hips. Okay, so bring the chest down low. If you can, you want to take the fingertips down to the floor. Great. And if you'd like to go a little further and intensify the stretch in the back of the legs, we're going to come down, palms flat. If this was too much for you in terms of coming down, fingers to the floor, you can stay with the hands on the hips, whichever version feels best for you. What we're going to do in any position that you're in, keep the hands at the hips, and then we're going to come up to a standing position. You can walk or hop the feet together. All right? We're going to do this one more time, but incorporate some shoulders. So we're going to take a wide stance once again. What we're going to do is, in this position, I'll show you guys here. So you're going to take your fingertips, interlace them in back of you at your low back. And if you can, keep the wrists touching. If you can't, this is fine. Okay? So in our wide stance, we're going to hinge from the hips, bring the chest down low, and we're going to take the pinky end of the interlace and press it towards the front of the room. You can let the head hang down low. And we'll bring that interlace back down to the low back, slowly lifting our chest and coming up into a standing position. We can walk or hop the feet together. Okay, and we're going to come into our next pose, which is called tree pose. So this is going to test your balance a little bit. What we're going to do is ground ourselves in mountain pose first. Very simple pose and very strong pose. So set all 10 toes into the mat. Engage the quads by pulling up the kneecaps up to your hips. Great. We're going to engage the core. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And bring the palms out to our sides. Take a moment here to ground yourself in this pose. And what we're going to do now is shift into a couple of variations of this pose that you would, want to take. What we're going to do is lift the right ankle and place it lift the right heel, place it on our left ankle. From here, you can either stay where you are, you can move into placing your foot on the calf. And if this is testing your balance, you can stay right here. If you want a little bit of more of a challenge, what you can do is skip the knee entirely and bring the foot all the way up to the thigh. So if this is good for you, stay right here. What you're going to do now is go ahead and circle the hands up to the sky. Bring the palms heart center when you're ready. And hold the pose for a few breaths, remembering to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. If you fall out, it's all right. Just come back into the pose, whatever position you had. One more breath. And what we'll do here is take the knee out straight in front of you. You're going to extend your leg out all the way, flexing the toes on your feet. And slowly, slowly bring that foot down to the mat. Perfect. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So whatever position you took, whether it was foot to the ground, foot to the calf, or foot to the thigh, you're going to take the same position just to balance both sides. All right? So from your grounded mountain pose, we're going to go ahead and take your final tree pose position. Take a moment to find your balance. Extend the arms overhead, reaching up to the sky. And when you're ready, bring the palms heart center. And again, if you fall out, it's all right. You can come back into the pose. We'll hold this position for 2 more breaths. And what you're going to do now is shift so that your knee is straight out in front of you. Extend the leg out all the way, flexing the toes. And slowly bring the left foot down to meet the right. All right. So from here, we're going to incorporate a little bit of warrior. So we're going to not do a complete transition, but we're going to see what our wide stance transition to warrior 1 and warrior 2 is going to look like for us. Okay. So what you're going to do is take your left toes out towards the left. Okay. And you're going to tuck in those right toes are at about 45 degrees. Perfect, Anna Maria. So we're going to bend the left knee. Okay, and we're going to make sure that our hips are squared towards the left side of the room. On the inhale, you're going to sweep the arms up to the sky. Looking up towards the sky. Release the shoulders away from the ears. And engage those arms, turning the pinky edge of your hands in towards you. Perfect. Hold this for 1 more breath. Now we're going to transition to warrior 2. You're going to heel toe the left foot to the right 1 time. Perfect. And what we're going to do now is take the right arm, sweep it in back of you. Left arm stays in front of you. And we're coming into warrior 2. Hold for 2 more breaths. We're going to unbend that left knee and turn the toes neutral. Okay? You can drop the arms. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to take the right toes out towards the right, tuck the back toes in. We're going to square the hips, bend the right knee, and sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Make sure to drop the shoulders away from the ears. And we're going to tuck in that pinky edge of our hands, engaging the muscles throughout the arms. One more breath here. We'll heel toe the right foot to the left one time. Open up warrior two, right hand in front of us, left hand in back of us. One more breath. Unbend the right knee, untuck the toes, and come into a neutral position. All right? From here, we're gonna do some floor stretches, so we're gonna get down low to the mat. Okay? We can take the feet out, all right? And we're gonna do what is called a seated forward fold, okay? So what you're gonna focus on is tucking the toes in, so you're flexing the feet and therefore engaging all the muscles in the legs. On the inhale, we're gonna circle the hands up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward, reaching anywhere that you can, so it's not necessary for you to reach the toes. You're gonna get the same stretch if your capability is to reach the shins, the ankles, and anywhere below. Walk the hands back towards your hips. We'll bend the right knee and bring it down to the mat. Okay, we're still gonna tuck those left toes in. We're gonna inhale one more time up towards the sky, fold forward, reaching anywhere that we can. Walk the hands back towards your hips. Lift the right knee, and we're gonna come into a twist. So we're gonna take our right foot on the outside of the left leg, still keeping those toes flexed. What we're gonna do is twist a bit just to get the right hand down in back of us, okay? Reach the left arm up to the sky, elongating that torso, lock elbow to knee, and twist towards the right. We're gonna gently untwist, extending the leg out. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So go ahead and bend the left knee, bringing it down to the mat. Flex those right toes, reach up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. We're gonna walk the hands back towards the hips, twist towards the other side. So we're gonna lift the knee. We're gonna take the foot on the outside of the right leg, reach back with your left hand this time, up with the right, elongating that torso, that spine, lock elbow to knee, and twist towards the left. On your next exhale, gently untwist. We're gonna take the legs out in back of us, bend the knees so you can scoot up or scoot down. And we're gonna lie flat back. And we're gonna come to the first position that we started with, just so we can see the effects that yoga has had on our body throughout the practice. So we're gonna take our right ankle, place it on our left knee. We're gonna interlace behind our left thigh bone, pulling the thigh into the chest. And hopefully what you should be seeing is a significant stretch, maybe a little bit less tension. We'll relax on the exhale, bringing the palms of the feet down to the ground, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Left ankle to the right knee, and pull the thigh into the chest. On your next exhale, relax the palms of the feet down to the ground and extend the legs out all the way in front of you. And we'll come into our final resting pose here, Shavasana. You want to keep the palms open to the sky, close the eyes, and relax the body down into the mat. Continue to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And find a moment to center yourself. To reflect on the body and think about how this practice has affected your shoulders, your hips, your knees. We'll be here for 4 more breaths. You can go ahead and open the eyes, wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers. We're going to unbend the knees, bringing the palms of the feet to the ground, and come up to a seated position. Okay, we can turn towards the front. So that concludes our practice today. We're going to take 1 inhale, reaching the arms up to the sky. On the exhale, bring your palms heart center. You can bow your head. Namaste. Thanks for sharing your time with us. We hope you guys had a good practice. Thanks, Anna Maria.